That's her little signature.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of A Tad Bit Older. My name is Pearl.
And I'm Juliette.
And we're back for a Tuesday episode. So we hope you enjoyed Thursday, last week's check-in. We were just trying something fun and new, seeing what your week was like. So let us know in the comments or in our DMs if you like Thursdays or Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So
That.
this week we're going to talk about our guilty pleasure TV shows and what it's like being
hit on
as
an old fart,
as a millennial, as an older. Are we like, what's the age group for millennials?
I think we are.
Like, you know how there's like, are we in the younger part of being a millennial, middle? Like, what's the age group? Let's see. Let's ask
I
ChatGPT.
literally just looked it up.
Age group for
I think we're later.
We're like older millennials?
Yes, because I think 30s.
So 28 to 43.
28. Yeah.
We're the older ones?
Yeah, we
Shit.
are. We're the middle age. You know that we're considered middle age?
So Gen Z is 12 to 27 years old. Millennials is 28 to 43. Gen X is 44 to 59.
Yeah.
And Boomers, I didn't know they called, well, it says Boomers 2, aka Generation Jones, is 60 to 69. Huh.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. So we're going to talk about what it's like being picked up on
Hit on.
hit on. As an old.
No, what do you call it?
Catcalled.
Catcalled.
Juliet never heard that
I
one
didn't know.
before.
I actually had to tell Ivan. I was like, what the fuck is catcall?
Being
Catcalled?
catcalled.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're like,
And then
hey,
he told me he's out.
So yeah, I was telling Juliet that so my guilty pleasures are like crime type TV shows.
Are they?
Yes, right? Like my anxiety could never. So I just got into this new show on Netflix. It's called My Crazy Ex, and it's like top 10 on Netflix right now.
Is it a reality show? Or
No,
is
it's like a documentary, like true crime, like real like crimes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's called My Crazy Ex. I don't know how many.
It's very
but that was
fitting.
That's just the first
Very
episode.
fucking fitting.
There's like 10 more episodes about crazy exes.
Why do you
Oh
want
my
to watch
gosh.
this though?
I don't know. I just said it's my guilty pleasure. I like true
Do you
crime.
feel like
I actually like
wanna
watching
put
that too.
yourself in that situation?
I like watching that too.
No, I don't know. I like Crime Junkie.
I like watching true crime too. I just watched the story with the TikTok guy that killed his wife.
TikTok guy.
But it's not. It's just a little episode. It's a little like documentary. I'm pretty sure he's like a famous TikToker.
Okay.
Killed his wife.
Oh my god.
And
see that one.
it's very interesting because he's actually a good-looking guy. He looks kind of Middle Eastern, and then he was with like a
I think I know what you're
maybe
talking about.
Filipino. They had a child together.
Yeah.
And then she didn't want to be with him because he was like abusive, whatnot. And then nobody believed her. And eventually he ended up fucking killing her.
That's crazy. Yeah. No.
Like stalking her and
That's
killed her.
like so Netflix also, I think it's Netflix. Is it Netflix has another show called My Crazy Roommate or.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but I seen I seen it on Netflix. Like
And you watched that one with me. We watched it with like one of our daughters.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't that gruesome. Like he does kill her, but it's not that graphic.
Yeah.
And it goes on to show like, so that one's about crazy roommates,
I
like
didn't watch
people who live with you and turn out to be
crazy. Yeah.
So those are my two favorite like guilty pleasure. But like my anxiety can't. I was so like anxious and it was, but I still watched it.
Oh my God. I used to torture myself before actually when I was staying at home and I only had Zoe. So Ivan would go to work and I would watch all these like crime shows and I would be like literally like a nosy neighbor. I'd be like, what is going on next door? What is going on? Like, but then I stopped watching them for a bit
Yeah.
But I do like crime shows.
I wouldn't say I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
But when it comes on, today I was like rotting away when I got home, and I was like, ooh, I could get into this really quick.
Oh my god!
And
you're gonna get me into it now.
It was like an hour show. You should watch it. I think I might, because I used to when I go hiking, I used to listen to Crime Junkie podcasts. Have you ever listened to the Crime Junkie podcast?
Have I? I don't think so.
It's a true crime podcast, and I got into that one, and so I would go hiking and listen to the podcast, and then I started to freak out. That I can watch a show here at home and feel safe, but I can't. I was listening to it and hiking by myself, and I would go super early hiking before the sun even came up, because for heat, for the nicer weather, and then I started getting really paranoid.
Oh my god. I would too.
I actually had some guy when I was hiking one time. I was almost to the top of North Mountain, and there's this glass little round. And like I said, I used to go pretty early, and this creepy looking guy with sandals at the top of this mountain. Everyone's wearing tennis shoes. He looked very disheveled. And I was the only one at this roundabout part. And he starts coming toward me and unbuckling his pants. And I stopped.
You're gonna see this today.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson today.
I'm like, oh no,
Look at it.
This homeless man is about to show me his junk, or he's gonna try to attack me. And it was very early that there wasn't enough people on the mountain. Usually it's very
That's actually happened.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
what?
A woman was hiking and she got attacked by a man. He literally chased her.
How do you go
down.
up a mountain just to attack someone?
Oh, they're desperate.
That's crazy.
It doesn't...
So yeah, he's coming toward me. I'm unbuckling his pants. So I stop. I turn around. I pick up my phone and I start calling my husband to get him on the phone. And he does answer, and I'm like, and I put it on speaker. I'm like, hey, are you coming around the corner right now? And he's like, what? No, I'm at work. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, I'm here and then this guy is coming, another man is coming toward me, and I go, oh, hey, there you are. Oh, I was just waiting for you. And he's like, are you, what? Are you okay? And I'm like, hey, and then the creepy guy just keeps walking. And I tell the guy, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I tell him what happened. And so he stayed with me till we got to the top. And then I kind of by then it starts to get crowded. Yeah. And when I got to the bottom, I told the park ranger, and they looked out for him. But then I seen him again. And then I told the park ranger, because I kept seeing him in the same disheveled clothes with chanclas on. How are you getting up that mountain in sandals?
Gosh. You wanted to get something else.
For real. So I had to stop listening to crime.
You got a homeless man do the same thing.
What homeless man?
You were a kid.
Oh, but that happened when I was really young.
What happened?
I told you I was walking home, but I was in freaking 8th grade. I was
walking. Not a little kid.
That is a little kid. I was 13, 12.
You're a teenager.
Yeah.
I thought
12.
you were
I was probably 12.
I thought you were going to say 5 or 6.
12.
Okay.
I'm still a little kid.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But I was walking home and there was a car parked. I think I told you. And
you probably told me, but I forgot.
A man I was walking by his car and he had a newspaper, put his newspaper down.
Ooh,
and then
gave me the chills.
Flung his dick. Ew. It was just
And then what happened?
So I didn't know what to do. I was walking home. There's nobody there to save me. So I just started walking really, really fast. And there was a little corner store. So I just went in there. But he never followed me or anything.
That's so gross. Did you tell anybody?
No, I didn't.
You just went home and
I just went home.
Were freaked out about that?
Yeah, and then I told my mom. I was like, you know what? I don't even think I told my mom. I was just I don't want to walk home. And she's like, okay.
She wasn't questioning why? Did something happen?
I didn't think I ever told her.
I'm so paranoid. If Penelope tells me something, I'm like, why? What happened? Is everything okay?
Yeah. Because I don't know. It was back in the day, girl.
I don't know. I guess.
I don't remember saying anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have. But when you were saying because you watched all those crime shows, you became a nosy.
Oh my god, yeah. I became a nosy,
I am
terrified.
such block watch.
I believe it.
I think my sister sent me a TikTok and the person's like looking out the window.
Yeah.
And
that was you.
It's all when you're that person who gets pissed off anytime someone parks in front of your house. And legit, someone was parked near our house in the cul-de-sac. But just so like red flag. They had all their doors open. They had towels on the window and they were sitting in the back seat. And I was like, who, what? What's happening? So I made eye contact with them because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make eye contact with them. What does Crime Junkie say? Be weird, be rude, stay alive.
Oh, that's what I do. I'm
because you know people are like, oh, I didn't want to be rude. You know, I didn't. You know, and I might be weird because I'm like what I did with that guy. Like, hey, you know. Yeah. So I made eye contact with him. Like, I see you, and you see me. And I'm so upset because there's this tree right by my office. I have a window in my office that gives me a perfect view of that area. And the tree is blocking my view, so I can't block watch out of that window.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so I called the non-emergency line.
For what?
To say that there was a suspicious vehicle parked near my house.
Jesus.
Listen, I have a problem with this. You put eyes on them, and then the cops are like, loo, and then they're like, that fucking bitch called the cops on me, that girl.
Yeah.
And then they come and they know where you live.
Yeah, I dare them to come back. I have a pit bull that lives here. So yeah, the police come, and I see a lot of like.
Oh, they come.
Yeah,
they don't come to your door though.
No.
Oh, okay.
I always say like, don't knock on my door.
Yeah, call me.
And so I'm looking out the window, me and my little niece. She's like, "What happened, guys?" Olivia, and I'm out, me and her out the window, and. So I see the cops come up, they're looking at the license plate, the towels start coming down, they're like, all the doors start shutting when the police get there, and I see the guy get out, and he's just like, I just see hands, the cops got hands, like, the neighbors call, I don't know, it's kind of creepy.
Pointed at your house, the neighbor called.
He's all,
this house right here
that's
calls
the
on you.
She's seen you from.
Right here.
She's a snitch.
Yeah, that's the neighborhood snitch right there. And then they leave. They're like, well, okay, whatever. They leave. And then I told my mom, should I go talk to the cops? Because they can't call me because I have like a block on my phone. Like certain numbers can't get through. So I go out there. And
you did.
I sure did. I wanted to know what they said. Like,
you cannot be doing that.
Yeah. So I open. No, the people left already.
Okay.
So I go out there and the cop, I'm like, oh, thanks for coming out. And they're all, oh yeah, sure, we got it. It's all taken care of. And I'm like, yeah, it's just because, it's a park and people, yep, we got it. And I was like, okay. I shut my door, go inside. That was not the first time I've ever done that. Like, called.
I believe you. Yeah.
Someone. I'm such a Karen. I do not like random cars parked out. One time I seen someone like come and park and go and pee under our, like, they needed to use the restroom. And
they peed where?
They peed under the playground. No, it was a regular guy with
he had construction.
On the playground?
Yes, on the playground.
On the street. He peed in the street.
No, I've seen that too. I've seen people go and pee against this wall.
Yeah.
I've seen them pee in the street, and I've seen them pee on. And it's not a public park. It's a private,
right, like a neighborhood park. Yeah,
that we pay for on our HOA fees. So plus, I don't want people I told my mom, I said, I want people to know you can't come chill here because that nosy neighbor is gonna call on you. Like, this is not the place to come park and chill.
Yeah,
go to the public park.
Yeah,
I know.
Things like that piss me off too. Like where we live, because obviously we don't have like a neighborhood park or anything like that. But when people park. When people park like in our area, that's when I get kind of pissy. We come out and I look at them.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I come out and then I'm kind of like,
what's up?
Are you coming here?
Good.
Why are you parking here?
All right, I'm not the only one.
Things like that kind of annoys me just because they're literally going to the house right in front of me or like next to me. And I'm like, they have a whole bunch of space. Yeah. Why don't you park there?
Yeah.
But little things like that tick me off. But besides that, I don't fuck with my neighbors. I don't even befriend them.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I'm just like, I'm in my own bubble.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I don't want to.
Yeah.
We'll say hey.
Yeah.
That's about it. But other than that, I'm just like,
Our neighbors, if my neighbors are having a party or they have a bunch of cars or whatever, we don't get it. I don't care. I'm not gonna call on my neighbors. Yeah. But one time, our neighbor across the street was having baby daddy problems, and both her baby dads showed up, and her current boyfriend was there, and they were all out there arguing and
actually,
and
starting shit.
And Matt's outside watering. Like conveniently watering, watching this, and me and my daughters were in this room, like looking out the window, and then I'm like, "Where's my sister?" Like, I want her to see what's going on, and I go out there, and her husband are out there, just like, like with their hands crossed, just like watching everything.
Oh my god!
And ever since then, she doesn't talk to me anymore. The neighbor. I think she got embarrassed, but we used to kind of chit chat, or I'd be like, "Hey, you left your garage door open," or she's like, "Oh,
no, I didn't. Shut the fuck up."
That was funny.
She don't like you anymore.
No, I text her one time and I was like, "Hey, dude, you left your garage door open." She's all, "Shut up, you're lying." And I was all, "Actually, I'm not. It is open." But she's really young, and so she's got like. A couple, like 2 dads and a boyfriend,
Oh,
so
it sounds complicated.
Yeah, she's got it complicated.
Yeah.
But we used to be so nosy because we would be like, "Oh, it's pickup day." You see
you see
them coming, leaving, whatever. But otherwise, I'm pretty good too.
Well, I'm nosy too. I know what's going on.
I'm so nosy.
I know when the neighbor comes home from work. I'm like, "Oh, he's about to come." But we've been living in our home for 11 years, 12 years, 13 years.
Nice.
So the people around us are new. Mm-hmm. So like both of our next door neighbors, except for our front door neighbor, 'cause I guess he's considered a neighbor too, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's been there way before us. And then right beside him, there's a new build, and we think, well, you know what? No. We had like a newer couple move in there, and they were super dramatic. We thought the guy was probably a bouncer just because he would come home really late.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like he would be home, at 3 a.m, and his like garage was open. He had like all nice cars, like BMWs, and they would be like up until like 6 a.m, and then you wouldn't see them again.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we used to have chickens last year, as a matter of fact. And one of y'all motherfuckers,
one of you nosy Karen neighbors,
one of our new neighbors, I'm for sure it was one of our new neighbors, called the city, and they said that we had chickens, which you're allowed to have chickens, but we had a rooster. And it was a baby rooster, by the way, and he started roostering. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
he started. What is it? He started. What is the word? Cockadoodling.
Crow.
He started crowing.
Is it crowing or cockadoodling?
Yeah, I think it's crowing.
I don't know.
Whatever. He started crowing. He started cockadoodling, and he started finding his voice. And
he's like, you know what? Shit, that sounds great.
He started finding his voice, but this mother effer started doing it at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. No, I would have called too.
So I started kind of locking him up in our laundry room. So I would wake up every day, 4 a.m., grab him and put him in the laundry.
And then would you do it inside your house?
No, so he was outdoors.
But when you would lock him up in the
he would still do it.
He would still do it.
You could still hear it.
It's called crowing. He would still crow.
Very faintly. But I had to get rid of them because the city gave me a fucking notice, and I'm like, I should be calling the city on all you newbies. First of all, for being nosy, not minding your goddamn business.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that story is that your sister was like, someone in my neighborhood has.
Oh my god, I did tell you.
She's
like, you know what? Somebody in my neighborhood has a rooster, and they crow all the time. And I'm like, take a video of it next time you're going to work, because she's a barista. So she's like, okay. She's like, when I go into work in the morning, she's like, I'll videotape it for you. So then she showed it to me. Oh my god, I still have that video. It's hilarious. And then you could hear the freaking roosters all cock-a-doodle-doo. And I was like, that's my fucking rooster.
Like,
that's my rooster. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you can hear him from like a block away. But other than that, I'm like,
it was right. Goddamn, motherfucker's loud.
No, I probably would have called too. 4 in the
you
morning.
would.
I would.
I wouldn't want to be your neighbor.
4 in the morning?
I'm like, the little rooster
Crowing?
doesn't bother anybody. First of all, you should be waking up.
Hold on, honey. He is bothering you if he's crowing at 4 in the morning.
I mean, I didn't mind him.
Right. You didn't, but your neighbors
And I have
do.
3 kids.
Right. But your neighbors don't.
Exactly. So
Right.
suck it up. So what are they going to do when they have a newborn?
Well, that's different because you can make a newborn.
Pearl, stop.
I'm just trying to look at it. I think I would be upset about a rooster crowing at 4 a.m.
Okay. Well, you know what?
But you know what? I feel like I could drown it out because we live near a train track and a train passes by our house every day around that time.
Uh-huh.
And I've learned, like when we first moved in, I would hear it every morning and it'd wake me up. But now I'm so used to it, I drown it out. So I feel like maybe I would have become like accustomed to it and just slept right through it because that's what I do now.
Yeah.
I can sleep through the train, and so can my kids. And when you're in their room, you can hear it even louder. When they sleep through it because they're just used to it. So maybe I would have become used to hearing it crow. But maybe because they were so new and they just couldn't tolerate it.
Our plan is to wait for them to fuck up so then we call the city on them.
Revenge.
Oh, yeah, revenge. For sure. So
No,
if y'all watching this,
But I do...
I'm coming for you.
Because you're my friend, I wanted that to work for you. I was sad that you had to get rid of them. Because I know how much you love them.
I was so sad. So guess
so
what we do now?
I am on your side,
Guess
but
what
I
we do
understand.
now? We turn up the music real high up. And it's cursing.
Oh my God.
Like F this, F that. So Kendrick Lamar is like on full blast at home.
They not like us. They not like us.
Roosters crow to set a boundary.
Okay.
They also crow to alert like there's a cat nearby or whatever.
They
Let the
do,
flock
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have different octaves when they crow.
They do.
Things.
Yep.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
They do.
And they're very active in the morning.
They
I
are
wanna see
super
this-
active in the morning.
I want to see this video that your sister has.
Oh my God, I have to
You'll
look for it in my.
you'll
I
have
have
to
to show
send
it
it
to you
to
again
me.
because it's so funny.
I love that.
And they also do it to impress the hens.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a pretty good neighbor otherwise. And like I said, I don't really mess with my neighbors. It's mostly people who don't belong here that I'll like trip on.
Yeah,
and
just
call
like
them.
people that don't belong in your neighborhood.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so let's get to the topic of the day. We were talking about the other day, me and Juliette were sharing stories about the last time we were hit on. And I was like so excited that I got hit on by even like a younger guy. And I called my husband and I was like, oh my God, guess what?
That is so funny.
I think some guy just hit on me.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, good for you. Like, yay. What'd he do? I was like so excited. I'm like, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I couldn't go anywhere without someone be like, hey, can I get your number?
I know.
Hey, can I get your number? And I'd be like, no, I have a boyfriend. So I didn't ask if he had a boyfriend. I'd be like, well, he doesn't like me giving his number out.
That was the line.
But my excuse, like, why I don't get hit on as much is because, like, I'm married now and I have a wedding ring.
You can still get hit on.
Really?
Some guys are attracted of like
That's
having like when girls have a wedding ring because I feel like girls get attracted to guys that have wedding
Right?
rings.
That's what I told my husband.
I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me, but I think they do.
I mean, before I was married, I don't think I was ever like, oh, you're. I think
yeah,
I think you might look at men differently, but I was
Probably.
never like, he's married, I'm gonna go for him.
Right.
But I get the idea of like looking at a married man or seeing a ring on him and being like, oh, that just kind of you put a standard on him, I guess. But yeah, so I was hit on, and I was telling you that. Even someone at work, I'm like, oh, I think this kid at work likes me. He always like walks by and he's so young. And my husband's like, maybe he's just doing his job. I'm like,
Maybe he's just being nice.
I'm like, can I have that? And so I took my dad to get a haircut, and all the, it's like 10 barbers.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, you can't come anymore. You need to have Matt bring me because all those guys were like looking at you and trying to hit on you. And I'm like, no, they weren't. But I'm like, were they? But they were just being really nice and polite.
man's like,
He's like, no.
No.
Yeah. He's like, or he'll be like, what were you doing over there all cute? You know, what were you wearing? I'm like, just my regular mom outfit. I don't know. I'm just so cute. But I was like, no, I had my ring on and everything. Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of miss it. Like, I don't want to, like, guys to hit on. Like,
well, it feels like you're still, honestly, like, it still feels like somebody's like, oh, like, actually, because once you become a mom, you're kind of like, you feel like you lose it. Yeah. But then when somebody actually, like, a random kind of like, just notices, you're like, oh, I still got it.
Because I feel like our husbands, of course they love us and the way we look, and they think we're sexy and we're beautiful and they've seen us at our best and our worst. So, you know, when my husband's like, oh, you look really beautiful, I'm like, thank you. Like, of course. Oh, yeah. Of course. That's why you married me. Yeah. You know, of course you think that. Right. But when a random person says it, you're like,
oh, am I?
Really? Okay, shit. Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Sir Mary. Like, you just, like, love it. Yeah. But it's such a compliment.
It is. I'll tell you about my story.
But not in a creepy way, though. Like, don't be creepy about it and be like, hey, what's up?
That's true.
Don't do all that. Just be like...
I'll tell you what happened to me. It was kind of funny because I went out with Leah and Marisol when I first started working at our place. And we went to Westgate, and we went to one of the bars there. And I don't, you already know, I don't like doing that. But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have a new place. I'll go. So we went out, and there was a bunch of, what are they? Gen Zs?
Yeah. That's who's younger than us. Wait, is Gen Z?
Yeah. We just said it, yeah. There's younger
guys.
There's younger people. And when I walked in there, I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I do not belong here. Yeah. But I was like, all right, I'll just play the part.
Yeah.
So they were talking. Marisol knew somebody that I guess was running the thing. And I was like, oh my God, he's young. Whatever. We're walking around. And as I was walking, somebody says, oh, hey. He's like, how you been? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, do I know this guy? Yeah. I was like, maybe I know him from a long time ago. And I was like, oh. I was like, good. And then he's all like, do you remember me? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, no, I'm so bad. I was like, I do not remember you. I was like, are you sure I know you from somewhere? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you do. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. I have no idea who you are. And then it started kind of like laughing. He's like, I'm just trying to hit on you. He's like, I think you're really beautiful. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then he's like, I was like, just so you know, I was like, I'm married. And I was like, and I have a whole ass family back at home. And then he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, thank you though. Yeah. And then I just kept walking away. But I was like, oh my God. You're like, I just got hit on by a 21-year-old.
But I think that's funny because sometimes like I'll come home and tell my husband of an interaction or conversation. Yeah. And he's like, honey, he was trying to hit on you. I'm like, really? Like, you don't even realize it.
You're just like, oh, well, somebody's just
they're just being talking. Nice, you know, and because you're not in the mindset of looking for people, like
you're not.
Your vibe, your radar's not up because you're not interested in anyone else. Yeah. So when people are just being nice, you just think they're being nice, right? But like that, I would have been like, really? And
yeah, it was kind of like, do I?
I feel like I've had similar.
I've never heard that pickup line before. Yeah,
but I didn't realize it, and like I said, I'd come home and tell my husband like the weirdest thing happened, and he'd be like, he was trying to hit on you. I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have caught on to that. Like I could have enjoyed it more.
Has he ever got picked? Like,
oh my God,
like has somebody ever tried to?
My husband is so nice. Like, and so, like, funny and so friendly that I have to tell him to be careful because I said some girls will mistake that as, like, flirting.
Oh, like the niceness.
Well, that you're flirting with them or that you're interested in them. Yeah. And so he's, like, really caught on to that. And so he's really careful, right? Like, he just does not put...
Why are you not smiling? You look so scared.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, what is she
like? This is kind of like a scary topic.
But I used to have to, because we'd be out and he would, we'd be with a group of friends, and we'd be with close friends, but then there would be their friends that maybe were other women or men.
Oh, like other girlfriends.
Yeah, and
like,
he's very like he talks to lots of people. You know, he'll talk to the whole room. He's he's just chatty and friendly and so I used to have to tell him afterward, like, don't do that, like, because those girls are gonna mistake it, right? Because they would sometimes be a lot younger too. You know, you get younger girls. You know, they're on the like. That's what they're out for. You know, they're single, they're out and about. Right. And so yeah, I used to have to tell him that. What about your husband?
Yeah, I mean, I've had
He's like,
gay guys kind of pick up on him more.
Yeah. I think you've gotten hit on by a gay guy. He's like, honey, I think I got
tried to buy me a drink.
That's right. Someone tried to buy you a drink.
Like,
I think gay guys have been more on like
You're a lot more forward.
Yeah. I've had like, even when we went to, well, no, that's a different story because that one's funny. But yeah, I've had like gay guys. But I mean, he has blonde hair and he's like very like.
He's very trendy.
He's very
He's giving like Bad Bunny vibes sometimes.
He also is very chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tries to be like nice and stuff like that. I don't mind if he's like talkative to other women. I don't care about that. They're not my problem. If I see him kind of like being in a different demeanor, then I will say something.
Right.
Other than that, if a girl's kind of like, then I'm just like, it's all right. I'm like, you can have fun for a minute. It's okay. I'm watching you. But
squash that shit.
Watch me squash this shit.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how I feel. Like, if a girl is flirting with my husband, I might just I don't care because I know he's gonna like put that out real quick. Yeah. But if I see him like being his overly friendly self, and then I have to be like, no, like that's not a good look. Like, don't embarrass me. Like, because what I tell him is like, to other people it looks a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, how does that come across? Like, oh, Matt's wife's right there and he's chatting it up with this girl all night, even though maybe, you know, it's
people are quick to
harmless.
assume.
Yeah, it's so harmless. And I'm like, you just gotta be careful with the appearances, what it looks like. But I have had to like check a girl before for like coming onto my husband, knowing damn well that we were married and had a family, and so she was like hitting on him, like, and always like chatting it up with him, and you know, you just get that vibe, like,
you feel it.
So the next time I seen her, but she would be so like, hi Pearl, and at first I was so friendly back to her. I thought she was a really like cool person. And then I started to be like, like, you have ulterior motives.
Later, I want to know.
I'll tell you later. So the next time, and I had told him, like, I don't like her. She makes me uncomfortable. Like, she's flirting with you and she's crossing a line, and I don't like that. Yeah. So he was like, okay, yeah, like, I'll totally like be mindful and, you know, stay away from her. Like, I won't engage in any conversations with her, you know, or let her pull me into a conversation, whatever. So the next time we see her, she walks up to me and she's like, hi, and gives me like this big hug, and I literally stand there with my arms at my side and I do nothing. I do not hug her. I don't interact with her. And she picked it up, like, she knew. Oh yeah. But then she mentioned it's like a mutual friend, like, hey, she just did that, and he didn't know I did it. And then his friend like mentioned it to him, like, hey, so and so said that Pearl kind of gave her the cold shoulder.
Oh, really? What did you do?
I don't remember.
I want to know.
I died laughing. I was like,
he laughed. He laughed, and then he came to me about it and was like, hey, they said you did this. And I said, I absolutely did. Yes. And he died laughing again.
Said, I want to hug you like you hugged her. And then she's like, I went like this. And I was like, oh my God.
I did. I put my hands at my side and I just let her hug me. I gave her nothing.
And you said nothing. No hello. No hey.
She's lucky I never confronted her about it, but in that moment she knew, and we never saw her again. Yeah, bitch knew. That's my man.
I don't think I've done something like that. Have I?
That's my guy.
No, but I never do anything like that ever.
No. Yeah. Besides just the one time, I don't know if you want me to mention this.
I don't have no idea.
He's like, I don't know what are you talking about? What do you?
No, I don't think so. No, it's just when we ran into like an ex-girlfriend. That was it. But that was like that was not like a big deal. But
that's different. Like an ex.
Yeah, she wasn't really like But she made it like clear that she was like, hi, it's been like 20 years, bitch. Like,
let it go. It's over.
cut the cord.
Cut the cord.
Let it go.
You already know if you see an ex, like, you're not even allowed to look their way.
I see friends in the store and I go to their
That's true, you do.
I think we
I'm kind
all
of
do
an
that now, though.
introvert.
I'm like, this
I don't
person's
like
here.
that. I don't like being surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to a
Yeah.
little high school, so I still run into people from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And they know, like, I went to such a small high school that you knew everyone by their first and last name. So I
my
was
goodness.
just at he got me a hotel room for Mother's Day at a resort. So it was just me, my mom, and my sister, and I'm checking in. And as I'm walking out, I hear Pearl Sanchez. And I already knew it was someone from high school. And I was like, oh my gosh, hi. And, you know, we hugged, we chatted for a little bit. And he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh,
Oh, it was a male.
yeah, it was a guy. And I'm like, oh, I'm here for Mother's Day. My husband got me a room. He's like, that's what I'm here for. I got my wife. We're doing the thing. But
Nobody you talked to in the past, though. It was just a person.
No, yeah, it was just someone I went to high school with.
Yeah.
But I run into people from high school a lot, and I will hug them because, like I said, I went to such a small high school that we were all, you know, everyone was pretty close and friendly.
Yeah.
And it was like a small community. But when we're out and about, and everyone always recognizes my husband. No matter where we go, someone, Mateo! And I'm like, who the fuck? Like, and he's always like, oh my God, like, I don't remember that person. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But if it's a female, they're always like, oh my God, Mateo! Because like, I get why girls gravitate to him because those are the same reasons why I gravitate to him. Like, I thought, oh my gosh, he's so funny. He tells good stories. He's so nice. So when we do see women out who recognize or remember him, they're like, oh, hey, I'm like, bitch.
That's so funny.
But then if they're like, hey, Matt, and you're like, this bitch knows.
Yeah, this isn't a high
Yeah.
school bitch. This is a different bitch.
Yeah.
Because I think
you
I'm
have different energy when she says that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think more people recognize me, but I think it's more girls. But not.
Everybody always knows you, too.
Just
You get
girls.
you
Like,
get
oh,
called
hey,
out a lot.
hi.
I look like someone they know. Always.
You look like somebody, yeah.
Always
But
somebody.
besides
I
that,
I get told, too, like, I have
you look like somebody.
You look like somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I recognized you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just me. What about if it's like a close friend? Like if my husband sees one of my really good friends, or even like you, gives you a hug, and you guys have chatted up before in the parking lot or whatever, like, do you mind that kind of stuff?
I don't mind it. You're chit-chatting it up. I don't think I've ever hugged like my friends' partners. Like, I don't think I've done that. I've conversated.
Yeah.
Not like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But me and Matt had a deep conversation
Yeah.
before, and it was about actually them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember outside the church, and we're talking about you guys. But other than that,
Yeah,
I don't think nobody's
we've never
ever
hugged or anything like
No.
that.
See, and
We've
I
never-
hug
we've
like
never
my
hugged.
close friends that I've known for a long time.
Yeah,
'Cause we've
like
known
their
their
husbands?
husbands. We hug them when we see them because like he'll hug the wives too.
Or if you haven't seen them in a hot minute, though, or do you always see do you see them often? And
I
then
wouldn't
you
say I
hug
see them often, but we have our my 3 friends and their 3 husbands. I will hug their husbands when I see them.
Oh, but I'm not a hugger though.
That's true. I know because I always
I'm not. I just
always
don't go
want to
up
hug
to
you and
I
you
never,
don't hug me. I feel like I've hugged you once
Bitch,
before.
stop.
No, like it's not like I always want to hug you. And
I would
see
love
you.
to hug you. I'll hug you right now.
No, but I'm saying like
I feel that too about her. I see you so much, I want to hug you, but I'm like,
I seen
Oh,
Ivan.
really?
I seen Ivan one time without you. I walked up and he was already there. Do you remember? And I think I was like, because I don't ever hug Ivan.
Yeah.
Like I hug my other close friends' husbands, and
I don't
consider
mind if you hug them. By
No,
the
and
way.
I consider you a
I
close
want to hug
friend.
her from behind.
And I walked
Yeah.
up and
I
I
don't
said,
mind.
"Oh, hey, Ivan," and I hugged him, and he like did hug me back. But then I was like, "Oh, is that okay?" Like I just hugged him.
No, I don't
because
mind
I'm a
it.
hugger.
But I'm not really. I'm only a hugger like in my immediate family.
Yeah.
But I will hug if I feel that you need one.
Oh yeah, you have hugged me. When
Yeah,
I've
like
needed a
it'll
hug.
just be like a
But when
random hug.
But normally, like if I seen you, like I see you every day, so I don't feel like I need to hug you.
But we're always so touchy.
Yeah, we always
We just
are
don't.
like,
We never like.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always like, oh my god. Oh
but
my
I
god.
know a couple times I've like walked up and hugged you, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're not huggers though.
We're
Like,
not. You know what I've been wanting to do to you though?
Ooh, what?
So bad. I smack your ass.
Oh, you
So-
can. Go ahead. She's always talking
Because
about
I'm
my
such
ass.
a ass smacker.
Yeah.
So that's like my thing. I'm always like,
She always comments
I
on
just
my
wanna
booty.
smack her butt.
She's like, here comes big booty
I was
Judy.
like, but I never get a chance to.
No,
Yeah.
I finally, every time I give our coworker her injection, I've
You're like-
mentioned this before. She has such a nice ass. It's
Oh my
so,
god,
like,
it's so plump and
yeah,
juicy.
it is juicy, and it gives you that little like
It's nice.
that bounce. Like you do, it's
Yeah.
just slappable.
It's nice.
This-
and it doesn't look like a diaper. It's
No.
just like this.
No, it's not like.
La, 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 la.
It's
This
like a
Jell-O
nice,
booty.
juicy booty.
I have a little butt though. I mean, it's a little.
Oh, see,
It's like 2 little grapes.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
The noise. Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
perfect.
It's like.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of nice to get catcalled,
Yeah.
but like catcall me, and be like, "Hey, beautiful," but don't try like don't come talk to me. I don't wanna
Right.
talk
Don't
to
come
you.
talk to me. And when you were talking about what is it called again?
Catcalled?
Catcalled. When you were telling me about that, I was like, I only thought Hispanics did that.
You've
'Cause
never heard that phrase before, though,
I haven't. But when you were saying that,
right?
and then you're like, it's.
yeah,
I was like, I swear Hispanics only do that. I
yeah.
was falling.
That's true.
I was like, I only hear like.
Let's see. The act of shouting, harassing, and often sexually suggestive, threatening, or
Threatening?
derisive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Derisive comments
Listen,
at someone
low-key,
publicly.
I don't like when she says that. When she's like, I'm just getting catcalled. I'm like, why do you want that energy? That's such a weird thing to have.
Catcalling or street harassment, a form of sexual harassment.
I think Hispanics do. They're like, mamacita.
Yeah.
Hey,
She like when
mamacita.
they sit at the club and they buy 'em drinks,
Señorita,
'cause I get free
señorita.
drinks and I feel good and I come in and I'm like, hey man, thank you. That feels great.
I do that actually.
that.
I've done that when we
I love
were, when we didn't have kids and we were dating. If somebody wanted to buy me a drink, I would tell him, and then he's like, "Go ahead, get us a drink." So then I'd get 2 drinks.
2-3 drinks. It's like,
I'd
yeah.
get 2 drinks, and
Yeah,
then
fill up.
I'd be like, "Here you go."
But
And then
do
that
you-
was
So
it.
both of you
But
can
we
date
literally,
right
it's like it's literally like a quick
I
little,
would.
it's literally like a
You
quick
both
little
getting
conversation.
dated.
Yeah.
I love that.
Girls ain't gonna buy him drinks, so I know he ain't bringing me a drink back.
That's true.
So
You're both getting dated.
unless if she's older, she's like a sugar
that's-
mama, then I'm
it
like,
depends.
tell her to pay a credit card bill.
But is he the jealous type?
No.
No. Are you jealous? You don't
Yeah.
show it. I kind of secretly like when he is jealous. I'm like, oh, that's kind of.
No, I don't think neither of us are.
I could be jealous.
Neither. But I have gotten jealous. Like there's been like
happens.
certain, yeah, there's
it's
been
not
certain
like-
scenarios, but no.
Very rare.
I think when I was younger, I was more jealous. But as we gotten older and I feel more secure in the relationship, I'm like, he ain't going nowhere.
Well, when we were younger and we were dating, we were a little all over the place. Like we were just barely getting to know each other, so we would like be like not down each other's throats, but we were like, "What the fuck? Why are you looking? Why are you talking to her?" And then like paranoia.
Yeah.
Like that paranoid kind of
Yeah.
like, I just met this guy. I don't know who she is. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
To
and
be
then
honest,
after-
our demeanor, right, it changed. I feel like now though, our
And then it
demeanor
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of-
After
Well,
a while,
like I
I was
said,
like,
you-
I don't have time for that. If you're going to go and cheat,
Yes.
you know what? Do me a
Stop
favor.
people.
Go. Because
Yeah. And it's not like
Yes, I don't
being
have time.
It's not like being checked out. It's more like
Yeah, I was gonna say check.
it's
that.
not checked out. It's more just like I have kids. I have a career. I have a job. Like
Yeah.
if you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, I'm not gonna like fight for that anymore. Versus when you're young, you don't have kids.
it is different.
It's a different dynamic. But as we've gotten older, I would never leave this relationship. Like he'll say like I'm like, oh, it would have to be like
Oh my
for
God,
me to
I-
tear my family apart.
I literally told them that.
It'd have
Yeah.
to be like an extreme.
An extreme. I
Like
told them.
someone extreme circumstances like Jay
Yeah.
Hernandez would have to come along. Some celebrity.
Yeah, I
what I
told them.
understand,
I literally told them the same thing. I was like, I would not leave you. I don't even have the energy
Yeah.
to like start something.
No.
Do you see these girls dating nowadays?
Hell no.
I'm sorry.
I am not. I just, all you gotta do is watch an episode of My Crazy Ex, and that guy was finding women on. Like, I wouldn't even know how to meet someone. Like, where do you even go to meet someone?
I don't have the energy
our
to
age?
like meet somebody.
They're out here pegging.
What do you say?
The what?
They're out here pegging.
Oh, they're out here begging? Nasty.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
I don't have the energy to like
Yeah.
start something brand new.
Yeah, no.
And
No. And like
I'm
when
like
my dad
that.
was making that comment about all those guys at the barbershop, I'm like, no, they cannot afford me and my daughters. We are so bougie. My husband is the only one who can tolerate us and our spending. Like, I am so sorry. No, sir, you cannot. I
was looking at our budget and I'm like, you gotta get on a budget. And she's like, how?
she was telling me too.
my budget. I'm like, no, I cannot.
You know what's so funny? Because we've been like on a budget too. And then we were in the car and I was like, let's go get coffee. And you're like, no, I can't because we're on a budget, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, our budget or whatever this week. And then Zoe heard and she's like, is that where you got getting a budget
oh my God,
from?
She totally thinks
She totally told me. She's like,
you.
is that where you got getting a budget from? And I was like, no.
Idea?
I'm saying we can't spend no more money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I
no
think
mas.
it's not even like a budget, like we can't afford
No
it.
mas.
It's more like we're doing it every day. We're doing it every day.
Is, but we've talked, yes, we go get coffee every
And
single day.
it's different when it's just me and you.
It is.
But then now we have our girls with us.
Yeah.
And so they want a pastry. They want to drink. Like my daughter gets a pastry, a food item,
That's how
and a drink.
That's how Zoe usually is.
How many times do they finish it?
They leave
never.
bites and stuff.
They never.
Yeah.
It's social hour for
Do you
them.
feel bad when you get something and then Marley, you already dropped her off?
Yeah.
So you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't get her anything.
So then I pick Marley up, and that hour that I
You go
have,
get her something?
I get her something.
See, that's what I do too.
That's
and
what-
I'm like, damn. Then I spent
Yeah.
for 2 more now.
And no,
and they
it-
got a drink and a snack.
I told Juliette that morning, easily, I spent $60 by 9 a.m. I put gas, we got coffee, like, I got them breakfast.
But it's like 60 times 5
yeah, all
because
week.
it's Monday through Friday,
then I
except
ha-
for the gas
Oh,
part.
if you look at
But
that week, like you're like,
you don't,
Yeah.
because
you're
you don't
like,
see it as
that-
a
and then-
whole.
and then you're like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah, you don't see
Yeah.
it as a whole. You see it as like,
Compounding.
Yeah, so I try to,
Yeah.
we were talking about, like, let's cut it down to once or twice a week.
we did. I was gonna say it's like the bullseye section from fucking Target,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, it's $1, $2,
Yeah.
$3, and then you have like this whole basket of like $3, $2, and
That
then
was
it's
us
like
at Target this week.
$30.
We
for
walked
this, like,
into
little
Target
basket.
just to get, we're like, let's just get them some drinks and
Oh
a
my
snack.
god, yeah.
We both returned back to Target. Like, we
Yeah.
walked, we did a little lap real quick, and we were both like,
We were like,
looking very quickly.
Yeah.
We
I'm like-
we were so proud of ourselves because we strictly just got what we went in there for.
yeah.
And then different circumstances happened that we both had to go back. Like we both returned back to the Target like within 20 minutes.
But you spend more.
And the second time I returned, I was like, bitch, I just spent $67 at
I
Target.
know.
Like,
I remember you told me. I was like, oh man. I was like, I was trying to freaking like behave because you were with me.
I know. You
It's like I was trying to make you proud. I
and
was
I'm
like,
the worst
"No,
person to
I
shop
don't
with.
want that. I
Because
don't
I'm like,
want
get
this."
it. Well, we
Yeah.
influenced each other to get, it's Halloween jars from the bullseye
know.
section. I was like, yeah, that's so cute.
Yeah,
What should I
we
get?
did.
And we didn't need to. We didn't need to, but it's so
It was
cute.
$5.
I think that initial visit was like $25 because I
Yeah.
had my niece. They both got something.
Oh, they
It's
did.
so easy, and I feel bad saying no to my kids because
I do feel bad sometimes, but then I have to remind myself they get everything they want.
that's
most of the time.
all year,
So I'm
every
like,
day. How many times
They're not starving.
Yeah.
We have food at home.
Yeah.
There's snacks.
Yeah.
There's like, so you gotta.
Well, how many times when we were younger, going into a store with your parents, don't ask me for nothing, I ain't got no money.
No.
Like, I have
No.
never used that word with my kids. Like, whatever they want, I say yes to a certain extent. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But I will, like, why take them somewhere if we're not going to buy them anything?
I know.
So,
But I've been giving them budgets. I'm like, look, we're at the store. I
Yeah.
have 3 of you.
yeah.
If I spent 30, 30, 30,
Yeah.
that's already like $90.
Yeah.
I'm already spending $100.
That's true.
So I started doing a budget. So if we go somewhere, I'm like, your budget's $10.
Good. Yeah.
$10.
That.
That's
a good
it.
Idea.
So you either decide if you want to get something here, or you want to get something somewhere else.
I did hear you have that conversation with Zelda.
So she's like, oh, okay. And then they kind of try to like work it out. And plus it helps their brain anyway, because they're like trying to do the math. They're like, oh, I only have $4 now. What can I get?
I love that.
And I'm like,
though.
okay.
Yeah, no, my thing with the kids is they get off early Wednesdays. So for whatever reason, that getting off early, they feel like they deserve. Can we go to lunch? Can we get a treat? Can go? So I started doing it's either Wednesday or Friday. Pick the day that you guys want to get. And if we do it on a different day, I'm like, nope, we already did it. And I feel so bad saying no to them because I think like they're going to get upset. They're going to have a fit. But 9 times out of 10, they're just like, okay. I'm like, no, grandma cooked at home, or like,
are they good over it? They're kind of like,
so, but like my trauma millennial is just like, oh, I let my kids.
Oh my gosh, me too. I always think they're starving. I'm like,
healing
they're
my
not
inner
starving.
child by buying you everything, but they don't care. They're so like used to it. But
yeah,
I'm like, nope, we ain't getting it. Keep walking.
Oh my god, that's him.
Oh, no,
Usually dads are better at it.
Yeah. No, you're not getting it. Your mom's lying to you.
Yeah, or he'll say, you gotta ask mom. He'll say no, ask mom. Mom's good. And then they come up to me, they're like, Dad said, I'm like, yeah, get it. And he's like, I just told. I'm like, I didn't. Yeah. Why'd you send them to me then? Just say no and that's it. Don't.
That's what happens with us.
Because I'm gonna say yes. Like,
they're like, okay, go ask your mom then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine. I just said no, and I'm like,
well, then why'd you send them my way? Like,
why are you having them ask me?
Don't send them, because you know my little Pearl is going to say yes, because I want it too. Or we'll say, Dad never lets us have fun. He ruins everything.
Why do they always say that? Children, they're always like, oh my God, you never take us there. Like the other day, I don't usually let them get fraps, first of all, because I don't need them to have all that freaking sugar.
True. And it's like $10.
Yeah. And they're like, I bought them fraps before just to get out of their system. Mm-hmm. They're like, you never buy us fraps. Never from Starbucks. Never. Every time we ask you, you never.
Liars.
I'm like,
they're such liars.
Never?
Is that true?
Wow.
Yeah, you get more shit. I always tell my kids, you have more fun in a weekend than I've had all month. Like,
that is true, though.
You can do something with them all day and come home and they're still bored.
Oh my God.
I'm bored. I'm like, we literally been gone all day.
Yeah.
And when they have friends over, we're entertaining them all weekend. Because I feel bad when a friend comes over. I feel like we need to entertain them. And so I'm like, you know, can you take them to Dutch Bros? Can you take them to Five Below? Like
small stuff.
Small stuff.
Yeah.
Or we leave the house, basically.
Yeah, because they're like, we want to leave the house. I'm like, well, isn't that the whole point of the sleepover? Is to come and hang out. Here, why do we have to go out and about all the time? But it's fun. Like,
what happened with like building a fort?
Right?
Go play with sticks.
Right? Put a little dance together. Dirty. Yeah, put a little skit together real quick. But they do that. I do like the skits. We'll do that. Play a board game. But I don't know. Alrighty, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We will see you next week.
We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.